All right. Hi guys. Let me make sure I'm connected here well. I always have to get a little stuff in like I did earlier. It kind of grounds me. Okay. I'm going to take this timer off. 42 seconds. Hi everyone. Welcome to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Hi my members, hi my subscribers. Hi Nancy Hopkins, I see that. Hi Long Gone, Muffin Top, yes. Yep, everything I do is here for the sake of the missing children and for the children that have been touched by this evil. NW Love, welcome in, Deborah. Wow, this is great. This is wonderful. I've got a really good one, and I'm going to make sure to hopefully review it well enough that everyone sees and understands it. That's kind of the goal, right? For sure it is. So welcome on in, and we will get started because I have a lot to go over. I like to always start with pictures like this because it sort of sets the pace for me. A lot of photos that I show are from particular YouTube channels, and like I am sure to say that they're deep faked. Their faces are not the people you think they are. So when I show Benny's face, or now that I've added Ryan Upchurch, it's not him. It's not Benny completely. I don't know who Benny is. I don't know who Ryan is. I don't know what Jody Sue is. I don't know who any of these people are. But they use their YouTube channels as their deep fake cover-up. So understand, I bring no harm. There's no one that's guilty that I know of. I don't know that stuff. That's not what I'm here for. And I kind of chatted about it earlier today. That's not my purpose here. My purpose is to bring justice to the children through speaking whatever they've told me is true to them. And that is about their process. It's really not about one particular person or getting the person thrown in jail. Their justice is going to come through having their story told, telling the world what they have gone through. Telling the world what they have gone through. It's not much more than that. It's very simple for them. The Summer Moonwells missing children, the Summer Moonwells got gone, get gone, and the KIELYRODNIs are all together. They have experienced the same thing. I have collages like this that I am putting together of Summer Moon, and I watch these pictures and they tell such the full story that I know that these collages, when this is busted open, are going to be a very precious moment in time that shows justice to the kids, and that it should never be forgotten. I'm trying to do it within chunks. I have like 4 of them done. It takes a while, but what I actually do is print the photo, the original photo, and put this on a massive board and make a print of it. Is it buffering? Am I buffering, you guys? Am I back on? Something is, tell me if I'm back on strong. Wait, hold on. Let's give it a minute. I don't want anything missed. Tell me if the buffering's done. I have different connections that I could do. Hold on. It's better. Okay, my back. Weird, you guys. There's like a couple these collages, and I'm going to be keeping them, and they're going to be really great keepsakes. These photos show a lot and tell a lot. They do speak to me, and I like to. Okay. All right. Well, I see that I'm on. So I'm going to start. Wait, let me check something. You guys, this is when you know you have a good presentation ahead. Let's see. It doesn't look like I'm buffering right now. If you look at these photos of Little Summer Moon, you could see that her story is in here, and these are the photos that people have a real tough time seeing. I'm here to make sure that it's not only seen, but it's understood, and it gets justice, right? That's the goal here, you guys. That's the goal. So all of these photos, I'm just going to keep building and building for our Little Summer Moon Wells. And for all the children she represents, many of them. Today's presentation is going to, again, show different groups. Has nothing to do with them. What I have done is really pulled together KIELYRODNI and her elements and put them side by all the other children that I have been working on for over a year. KIELYRODNI has definitely become front and center. She's a very strong spirit, just like Summer Moon. She was a selected, chosen one. Not like she wanted to be, but she was. And one day this will all be shown to the authorities. It'll be understood by the authorities. The other day I mentioned like that crazy chair that's on that guy's porch. Well, this is the chair down here is what I was talking about. That's the chair. It happens to be in this picture right now. I have a picture. I have one of the pictures of the porches today, and I will make sure to point it out. This chair right here is the same kind of exact folding chair that's on the porch that I'm going to show you. I believe is the same porch over and over with a screen. And all they do is deep fake where they are. That's all. Let me make this smaller. I started out with this photo because these two photos tell a lot. And what I've been trying to do is make sure to bring photos in from all the cases I'm working on, but keeping Summer Moon Wells as my top speaker. When I do open that door up, those who work in the world of clairvoyance and medium, you have to really be careful not to let many in. Summer Moon Wells, missing children, Summer Moon Wells herself, I have a very good relationship with, and the evil and the devils know when to back the fuck off. And they're also there to tell me when someone is up my ass and is trying to stop the light from being shown. And that's what happened earlier today. That's what happened. And that's why I went on a crazy kooky thing. But the photo to the left actually comes from Chris Watts's house. And they're taking video, and this is a perfect image straight from their search video showing you the door that sits in front of these hidden doorways. And it creates a particular effect that looks like someone is looking at you from the other side, but you don't see that. It's like a screen. And this is where it all happens, is in these little rooms that are set up by someone who really knows the new technology of screens and deep fakes, and just knows a lot about that to create a system that is used throughout this sick world of underground disgusting shit. And they may do it well, but the thing is, you you could be smart and really try to get this together and think you're really smart, but you're never smarter than the Spirit of God, and you're not smarter, and you can't out challenge. Like, you can't win in an armed war or tug of war when you're going against the angel spirits that are trying to get justice. I don't need a rhyme or reason to know. I don't need to know how you make that freaking screen. All I'm here to do is to tell you I'm pointing it out. So when the time comes and this shit's going to get blown up, the police could be like, this is what we're looking for, A, B, C, and D. Find it. They don't really give a shit who's smart enough to put it together. This presentation is going to show how to find it. The picture to the right came off of one of Benny's videos, and these little pictures come from the corners. And this is a perfect example of what's put under the videos. This is one of the small little sections that are between. I'm channeling, so when I look and say this stuff, I always have to make sure that nothing's been proven and nothing has been shown the truth through the eyes of the police department, the legal authorities, they're the only ones who have a right to say that, right? I could just tell you what I see. What I see is this is between, like I've said before, between the walls, in between like pieces of wood, and it's plaster. It's there. This is between it's as wide as the head. This is actually the truth. Is what you see in front of you. This is what it looks like. So you can't sniff it out with the dog, and you can't find it if you just do a search at Don Wells' house without digging. You have to dig, and you have to know where to dig. So I think the authorities know that, and they just can't dig up a whole house, but I'm here to show exactly really quite where locations can be found. And I'm just using my channeling clairvoyance. That's it. I may be completely off my rocker and it's not there. This is another picture of what came from the Watts group, because it's important to show that whatever they did in the Watts video is what they continuously did throughout Summer Moon Wells and now Kylie's. Whoever has that little handheld, which looks like a small little phone / iPad, is in control of this electronics. When you look at the screen, even just on the Watts screen, the police should be able to see this because it came straight from the video that they put out there. It's right there. Shows Chris Watts, whatever, police during the house search. During that house search, if you play it slowly and you look at it the way I've taught you, you will see that it's the same story. You know, Chris Watts and Summer Moon information is identical. These kids, it's the identical story. And when you look into the fake phones or whatever and you want to see photos, you may be like, oh, that's cloudy or whatever. But let me tell you something. Those are the kids. This is on the phone of whoever's standing there. And no matter what, that's not a picture that this cop is looking at on his phone as he's doing a walkthrough at the Watts house. That's not even possible, right? Because what it shows the children underground, and they have that number 5 whatever box connected to the top of them. Now, this number 5 box is something that I can't really say it travels, but it finds its way through the process. It's something that the authorities would have to really keep an eye out on, because it starts with them and it winds up all the way back to, it travels with them and stays, and it winds up in like that tree place, wishing, like the whole thing, whatever process it is, that whole entire number 5 thing travels with them. And that is in my presentation. I'm going to grab the number 5 so I could show you. For those who haven't seen my other presentations, wait a minute, I'm going to grab it. Let's see. It is, I know I have it. I'm going into my presentation to grab it off of one of these. Unless it's, wait. It's crazy that this shit is just not being stopped. Is this it? No. Wait. It's worth the wait. Let's see. Oh, I have it pretty soon in the presentation. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's in the presentation really soon, so let me see. Oh, 135 pages, that's why it's not so easy to grab it. Oh, all right, so I'll just put it side by side, even though it's on page 7. This number 5 that you see in that screen basically is the same that I've shown you before. It's like, it's on the bottom there. It's that, it's made of cement. It's right there on the bottom. And it's also, and even though this is, I have this on the next pages, it's just nice to put it side by side. And it's also in the Watts when the fake Shanann comes home. This is basically telling you like location, like these are a match. And this number 5 box is what travels with these people who become a victim. It's right there. It was my next slide. It's too funny. Chris Watts' photos to the left, and what's to the right is from the Wishin when they're making their wreaths for Christmas. Now, I got to this Wishin group through Tim Mullen. Tim Mullen and this group share a lot of the same information. Again, I'm not saying anything about their particular company because I really don't know much about the company. All I know is that their elements, which they show, are consistent with what I'm following. So this here is the hole in the ground that they used, it's right there. Everyone has them, and there's the number 5. And then here, I'll blow this up. Each of these workstations, each workstation has their own number 5. So that is that. See, it's the same. There's no, you can't tell me otherwise because it's here. I'll turn it so you could see it better. This thing just turns up throughout. Oh my God, throughout Kylie's case for sure. This block, this cement block that's coming out of a hole in the ground. It's coming up and out. You see that in a hole in the ground. That's just what these do. And this is the same thing that's in the Watts case. It's in all the cases. It's one of the common elements that I just keep showing. Tim Mullen's video intro is really turning itself into a really big part of the information that is needed. The person to the left looks very familiar to me. It comes from the man sitting next to Shanann when she's basically in torture. And Tim Mullins shows me that he's holding a basket. Like, he's actually showing information, but his face doesn't look like him to me. It's weird. Just looks like, I'll show you a picture. I'll show you. It just looks weird. Okay. I want to talk about the cylinder. So anyone who saw my video yesterday, I wound up coming across this photo. And I'm like, this is inside the room. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my presentation. I wanted to get it to you guys, and I didn't, but that's what I'm doing today. What you see, I believe that is Kylie sitting at the desk, and what she's sitting with are the cylinders. There's 3 of them. She's sitting within her little station. Her station that everyone has. Summer Moon Wells has a station. Summer Moon Wells winds up just like everybody else in one of those cylinders. There is no difference between these, you guys. The only difference is it's a different person. It's a different sacrifice. Kylie is in the same location and place as Summer Moon Wells. The Summer Moon Wells. Summer, this is a close-up of Summer's face of what it winds up looking like. She has that fish-like thing, and she herself is also between these white rods. It's very much the same as Kylie. If you look really closely to Kylie's, you will see the panda bear in the back. Let me grab it. This is the same panda bear that winds up with Summer as well, and it's the same panda that ends up with Kylie. I've seen this panda. I know what this panda is. And the kooky little information that they show only shows that it all matches. This is Kylie's panda, which is right over here. And behind Summer in the same situation is her panda. Right there. I'll circle it. So when I'm dead on something, I'm not just spitting it out. The spirit, it's right here. And it's the same thing as this. Spirit has taught me how to go grab the elements so I could show them to you apples to apples. It's not an easy thing to do for them. It's taken a long time of trust, and it's taken a long time for me to accept the fact that this is what's happening. Now, this is Summer's panda right here. And that's Kylie's panda. Now, the panda within Summer's picture turns to Tim Mullen. That's what turns to Tim Mullen. That's Tim Mullen to me. That photo, to me, now I'll go back. Not to say it's Tim. That photo to me is no different than the person sitting here with Shanann Watts. I think they're the same people. I think they're the same. And all he has in front of him is Shanann's or one of the kids' cylinders. Because he's sitting right next to Shanann. It's the same situation. And this photo, and in these photos, you guys, I'm not even going between things at this point. Their photos are showing up in the corners of their videos. I'm not really quite sure why they chose to do it that way, but this is the exact situation that KIELYRODNI winds up with, and she winds up in the room with all the cylinders. There is nothing here that is confusing, that she is in the room with, let me cut everything else out. She is in a room that Summer Moon Wells winds up in. It's this room. There's the cylinders. Cylinders match. There's the hearts. There's the chair. There's the white things. It's all there. There's the basket. This is the basket right here. This is all the white crap that winds up on Summer. And then here's the cylinders with the heads in them. And the number 5's on top. The 5's 3 and the 7. That's what it is. The green, the white, and the maroon. I think that these people just, they have different reasons for their sacrifice. This is the cylinder right there, and this is from the bread making. The bread making, I haven't forgot about Robin or any of her stuff. The bread making is like a freaking huge deal. It's a huge deal. And the cylinder that is here, it's a big deal. This is still from Kylie's room. This is a cylinder. Wait. And then here's the cylinders above her. So these are what you saw in Robin's bread making. This is what it was all about. All of it. Don, going back to Don and bringing in Summer Moon's situation parallel to Kylie. These children could be found behind a hidden door. The hidden door, you open up the door, I'm doing this spiritually, and you are able to enter a wall, a thin wall entrance that's between the walls to bring you where you need to go, or where the kids are hidden. The picture in the middle is a picture of Candace. I believe that she is standing in front of those screen walls, one of the windows that you see to the right, which came from Catch It TV, has a whole video on this abandoned house, which I really wish the authorities would raid it. A couple videos ago, I showed how I'm going to show it even more, how there's like no difference between what you see in Candace's window, because this is the window that she shows the Dancing in the Rain, the red barrel. It's the same frickin' window. They have the same information in their window. And as I continue through my presentation, you're going to see that somewhere the deep fake was used to cover up. I don't know where this is. I don't know if it's whose it is, but it's the same. This little thing above their doorway, which I've always noticed, is the same. Is the same information that's above this guy's doorway that he showed in the abandoned cabin. There's nothing about these locations that are different. Nothing. And let me turn it. It's one of the cylinders is what it is, you guys. It's one of those cylinders I just showed you. Wait, let me turn it and flip it. There we go. No? This way. This is the same thing I just showed you. Now, it's above both doors, and both of these doors have the same information. They have the red barrel. They have the same tree trunk on the bottom that's like pointing towards the for sale basket. They have the same screen. It's the same as if Candace was standing in this window and not at her window at home. Don, on the other hand, his window just, his stuff doesn't stop showing information. This is why I'm taking all these pictures and like putting them together, because it is the story, and the story is being ignored by the authorities. I'm hoping they have their reasons, but every one of these pictures that are in this door show information. This person is in front of the same kind of a hole in the wall as Kylie was in her room. So when I select elements, they don't change. When I tell you that this hole in the wall, or wherever this is in the ground, always looks the same. It's a hole and it has one of those sticks next to it. It has a stick. It doesn't change. It never does. Let me grab one of Kylie's. Kylie's hole in the wall. Let me grab hers. I have them all here. Here it is. Kylie's hole in the wall is the same as what you're seeing here. This here is the same as Kylie's hole in the wall. They have the same information. They have the same stick on the top, and they have the same stick on the side. Hers is just flipped. Let me flip it this way. So it's super easy for me to pull this because the spirits have shown me so much information that I'm now able to identify these little bits of information and make sure to show you guys like the parallel image from each. Because what Don has here is the same kind of a hole as Kylie went through. Just same. I do believe that this is somewhere, one of the locations you could get to right through their house. So this picture is her coming through this door. I showed you guys the other day that there was a strange top half and a bottom half that was connected. What she's basically showing here is exactly what I said this guy had on his doorway. You're looking in a door, but the top is almost separated. It's makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And the elements in here are the elements of the summer moon Wells missing children. This doorway is super important. This was their construction that they added. And it's this area right there that has the same trim and the same information as all the summer Wells missing children. This is shining straight forward. Shining straight forward. See? See how this one, it shows it's two separate pieces, but yet it really isn't. It's one door. The picture to the right is one that I've had for over a year, and it's a really weird picture that turned like that when I closed a movie, and I'm like, this is what they do to them. And this is what one of their little boxes look like. This wound up in one of Summer Moon's videos. It's not far off. I want to recap before I keep showing you the rest, how Summer Moon's photos in the church really do show all those crazy little faces and what they make, and that she's being mechanically moved, and this is freaking fake, and she's being moved by some sort of mechanism. But as she's being moved mechanically, she's got all these different caricatures and faces with her that she's holding on these platforms. All of her pictures are like that. Now, I'm showing all of this to you because the most important thing to understand that I need to get across to you guys as far as having the Summer Moon Wells missing children get justice is that there was no church that they considered their church to go to and do the things that people do in churches. This is what they did in their church. These are the maroon boxes that these kids step out of, that you find in the back of the car that Summer Moon Wells was in. This is the clear box with the maroon outline. They're coming out of these boxes, you guys. The photo of Summer Moon Wells in her backyard. If you look super closely to her and you see what's going on and she comes out of the shed, this is what she's on. She's on one of those the thing that moves her back and forth in the fake freaking church. She's on the thing that moves her. And I don't believe that she's coming out of that shed. She's coming out of something that has those little rooms in it. These little rooms give you access to something very big. And her church pictures is really what they do to these people, to the children. This is what they're doing. This is what they're making them do. Every one of them. And Robin is not holding a ceremony. This is a very, very important part of their process for people to understand. They really don't want you to think that they were in a church praying. They stay with a group of people that look like them. I'm re-showing this because I want to keep re-showing you how many different kids are involved. How many different children and adults must be involved in this to cover up so many children under one face. These are different kids within Summer Moon's face. Now, this is why Summer Moon is the chosen one. She was the chosen one to be under or over their faces. So she represents all these kids because she always has. These aren't all Summers. At all. At all. Same thing with these photos. They're never what you think they are. They are 110% connected to the machinery that you see in the bottom middle photo. That's what it is. I'm really not sure what or where they go or what happens to it, but the bottom middle is very telling of the story. This here matches that face matches. Where is it? I have one of those from yesterday, I think. It's like a gold face. It perfectly matches. Let me see. That face, I just saw it in one of Kylie's pictures. Um, it's exact one. Is that it? I will remember this. This is, I just showed this yesterday. It was silver or gold. It's a very important piece of the puzzle. A lot of children, you guys. Kylie is in the middle here. What you're seeing of Kylie, to me, is the identical photo that you're looking at Summer and Candace. They're in the same location. They've got the same bars around them. They have the room behind them. I mean, they have the door behind them, and they're in the same situation. Summer's connected to the same machinery. This here I got from her boyfriend's Snapchat page. And this is very telling because what you're looking at is identical to what we saw at the party. And they're like marching across the water. This is basically what you saw. And it's symbolic. They keep it symbolic, right? Let me grab the panda face. So they're marching her across in the basket. And this was on her boyfriend's page. Now, the middle photo, what they're matching across are these things. The middle photo of Sammy's car ride is what you see. Sammy's car ride is what you see in the middle. She winds up with all of that stuff in her back seat, just like Benny does. And she's carrying that same white thing with the heart, as you see to the left-hand side, which came from Summer's video. And then to the right, those are the same tubes, cylinders that as you see in Kylie's, but that comes from Michael Vaughn's Vigil. I always thought that was Michael Vaughn and Summer. But those are the cylinders, and that is the Vigil. This is Summer's. You have the yellow car in there. Summer's poster also turns weird. but now the weirdness matches the picture to the right. So once you're able to match this shit up, there's no room to say, oh, this is bullshit. Oh, blah blah blah. Yeah, Jagger's his name. I keep wanting to say Xander. I don't know why. So I am showing you, this is my point today, is to show you that these might be weird pictures, but all the weird pictures turn up in all the missing children that go gone. I don't care of how they found them or not, but this is what it is. What they are carrying, what Jagger is carrying across the top of his screen is exactly what winds up as a cylinder in a room, and what was also carried away in Summer Moon Wells's case. There's no difference between these. The only difference is it's a different person. It's a different circumstance. It's the same sacrifice. They each have a different purpose. This here, you turn it, is Kylie in her cylinder. She's right there. This is what they're prancing. This is what they're prancing. That is her cylinder with her head in it. It's what it is. It's so warm in here. Wait. Hold. Okay. You see that, you guys? Those cylinders that Jagger has on the front page of his social media winds up in the room, which is the same as what's prancing across with some sort of a tree trunk with Summer. It's all the same. This, put them together. This with this cylinder, right in the middle, because the faces look the same. Copy. So this cylinder is the same as this cylinder next to Kylie. It's the same. It's the same. And it's really real in that, and you could actually see the panda face. Yeah, I showed that already. It's actually the same. Summers is to the right. It's the same thing that in I'll show you. I'll get to it. All right. So here's the cylinder at the bread making thing with Robin. They're showing the process in her phone, and again, it's the same thing that you see. Kylie's just sitting in the room. mean, that's ridiculous. Look at that. And then I have to show once again the machine that they show in the Watts' bedroom area. The only reason that we could see this is because that is a one-way mirror or one-way door. That is the one-way door that the cops just sort of went by really fast, and it got on. They got it on video. That's the same machine as I'm talking about. This is a very important piece of information. I have been showing, oh my God, for so long. I said the number 5 machine goes on the face and it goes in the eye, and well, this machine can be found in both Summer Moon Wells, Kylie's, on the fisherman's boat, and with Benny. This little 5 number box is crucial to the system. Whatever they're doing, these are real pieces of evidence that could be found by the authorities, like found by the authorities. They're not deep faked, they're not fake, these are real. These pieces are real. Summer Moon Wells has it right on her face to the left-hand side with the number 7 on it. Now, the thing about this one here is her face is already a panda face. Let me show you. It's already, but it matches all the other children. They all wind up looking the same, and so did Kylie. I just showed you. This panda face with the number 5 box is how they wind up. So this is very consistent in everything that I show you guys. There's no difference between this panda face and the panda face that I showed you from Kylie. They're the same. This is Kylie's panda face. This is Summer's. This is Kylie's. All connected to the machine. And let me tell you guys something. That picture that I'm showing you, you know, I started out with this photo. Let me crop it a little bit. And I said, this is how they wind up. They wind up in a wall, blah, blah, blah. But if you look very closely to this man who winds up in a wall, there's no difference between these, other than you see the human face and whatever panda, whatever is next to him. They're all connected to the same machinery, to the same situation within the same hole in the ground. It really doesn't change, because this photo and this photo and this photo shows the same elements, the same information, just different people. This here is the thing on the head. This here is the thing on the head. This maroon thing on the neck is the maroon thing on the neck. This person here is the same people over here. It's the same thing, guys. And this is summer. There's a little boy on top that is not in a good situation. The little girl on the bottom right-hand corner is going through the process. I believe that Summer was with 3 people, maybe 4, 5, or 6, or 7. But there's a team of them, and it's whatever she calls family, because they did it all at the same time. This comes from the church with Robin. Needs to be stopped. Now, I have a video that I saved. I'm still staying with the piece of machinery. This green piece of machinery I am sticking with right now. What I am showing you is that this piece of machinery is crucial. Now, what I have to show you real quickly is with this machinery, remember I told you that's the eyeball removal? It looks like, it was like what that little girl on the boat had this in her hand, and so did Madeline McKinney. It's this. So this is part of the machine that connects to the head. That little round thing, let me crop it in even more, is what that little girl had in her hand, because this is hers. Everyone has their own. This little thing is individualized. Even Madeline McKinney had her own in her hand that I showed pictures of. It's this. Don't ask me everything, but it's connected. Summer Moon Wells's eyeball is against the machine up in this left-hand corner. And you're looking at it. To the left-hand corner, it comes from Benny's video when he's standing in the shed. He's standing in the shed like this. And that video I got lots of information from, but he's standing in the shed like this. And he is holding a piece of the machinery. This is the piece of machinery that he is holding. Here, that piece of machinery can be found on the fisherman's boat right next to the gook of shit. This thing is what winds up getting connected to the children. Now, this is the same machine that was in Dylan Rounds' video. It's the same thing. Look at the crap of shit that is next to it. This is Dylan Round's video. This video, and I pulled it to the side, matches perfectly to a head on a platter with number 5. This came from their drone footage. It made no traction, but it has the green face, it has the head in the platter, it has the green, the blue, the white, and the red boxes. It's got everything to show that Dylan Rounds was suspect to this. He was taken through this group. I have no doubt in my mind. First of all, the photos of this is the trunk, remember, of the footage that was taken the day that they went out with the drone for Dylan Rounds. And people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. That is drone footage. Well, their drone footage is what gave me the picture of the body that they were looking for, all rolled in white. These aren't pictures of Dylan or anyone sitting in the car. First of all, they're different heads. Each one of them is different. That head is different from this, and it is the whole entire setup that I just showed you in Kylie's. Same freaking color 5 boxes she stands on. Look at their faces. They're totally different people, and each one shows a different person. Each one. Those little boxes, somehow, what you see Benny holding up is a sacrifice. What you see the bottom right-hand corner is Dylan Rounds' sacrifice. What you see to the left is it falling apart. It's falling fucking apart is what it is. And they couldn't get any traction with Dylan. I don't know. They really tried. They really tried to get traction with Dylan. And first of all, the mom was too obvious. She was like, it was very difficult. This is the setup. This is exactly what Kylie winds up standing on. This Dylan Rounds, if they ever decide to bust this stuff open, is parallel. Now, I always said that this comes out of Utah, right? I'm bringing this information back because it's a perfect time to show it. I was channeled over to a guy's video, was it his tape? Oh no, it was Google searched, and he lives on a mountaintop all the way in Utah. It's the farthest up, and I'm looking, and it brought me there because I was looking for Appalachian Fairgrounds Google images by particular people, which gave me information. The pictures of the kids that had these masks things over their faces, and they were looked like they were out cold in a snake, And, you know, throughout this whole journey, Summer Moon Wells would give me things to look for. And I'm like, people might remember, but I'm like, she's like, I'm like, what are you looking up at, Summer Moon? And she's like, a snake. It's smiling at me. So when I saw that snake, I think it was in the aquarium from Appalachian. These two kids are sitting there. It was from the same guy. I'm like, this guy, he has a critter flying all over his rock ceremonies. And then I went to look at more. He has this faraway built teepee, and his teepee is covered in, he calls them horrible children. And one of them actually has an eyeball gone. And I'm like, at that point, I didn't have many photos that had these number 5s on them, and they were the same. The blue, the green, the white, the red, you know, maroon, the same. I kept this, guys, and every time I go back, I'm like, this has to be checked out. Because his are the ones, these. This is his from Utah. This is his from Utah. These are Dylan Rounds. And I put this here is from Montana. I always kept that picture because the front of it shows me the house rooms that these kids are in, because it matches, and one of them has a chair in front of it. So even though this is difficult to see for most, I totally see it. These are the hidden rooms underground. And this here is a doorway, these maroon things with these bars. But his totally are the same. Totally the same. So this is Benny holding it, and that is the machinery that is slightly sitting over an opening of what's underground. Because if you look to the corner, let me turn his picture around, you could see the underground area very clearly. Let me turn it. I'll turn it and crop it. When they showed this, when he showed this room, I'm like, it looks just like the Wishin' Christmas room. Like, to me, this was the Wishin' Christmas, what's under there? Workstation. But it's the maroon boxes with the little ropes coming out of them. It's the machine, which I just showed you can be found on the boat. Now, I put this up here because, first of all, yes, you could see the faces and so forth, but it's the letters that keep showing up. Something LR, and then the other one I'm going to show you is JLR, and this one is RLR. They have to mean something, so I'm putting it out there because this is a room that is hidden, that has all this white plaster stuff. So I really needed to put it out there. And then of course it's the machine on the right. I am told, my heart is told, that these are one of Summer's last photos. And I'm showing you that Robin isn't the Robin you think she is. I know I've shown this before, but it's super important to show again. Her photos are photos of her holding trophies. All of her photos hold skeletons, they hold really weird shit. But they cover her up so well that it's almost sometimes it's hard to even get a correct picture. But this picture shows the real Robin under the Robin. And I have the one in the middle because it's very symbolic to also Kylie's case right now. I feel as if she's sitting in that same porch like. And if you look at Robin's pictures, they turn into skulls. All I know about those is that they're trophies. And these are trophies from the children that go through the same experience as Summer. This picture here, she holds these skulls. Like, it's very important to understand that this is very sacred. This is a very tribal-like ceremonies that they have. And what they did to Summer Moon is very tribal-like. I don't know much, but this is what they're doing. And those little clips and whatever they're doing to these children hasn't changed for years. It may look really weird and they have some of the eyes, but this is all very true. This is Summer's story, you guys. And this is the story she really wants people to stop. It's a very important journey that she needs to stay in front of. Most of Summer Moon Wells' photos show her holding these little, they're just important pieces to whatever process they're going through. These little pieces I find many a times planted, because I'm not going to say that the Beeston Bunch has it personally, but they're used, the Beeston, the Kents, whatever, they're used as a deep fake cover-up. So I'm going to show you some photos, but understand it has nothing to do with them. This little thing is so very important. It winds up under the heads of these families. And whatever it is that they're doing with these little charmy things, I want you to know that I'm pointing it out and I see it. This is part of the Summer Moon Wells Missing Children story. And this head is in the same position as I've seen Benny's head in 100 times. And I just saw for the first time, they're really starting to use Ryan's pictures. Last pick, turn to right. Which last pick? This one? And of course I have to throw Nikki Kessinger in there because Nikki Kessinger is just holding up one of those things and just so proud of it. And she is in the area that is very familiar. I have many different pictures of it. So I just throw this in there to let you all know that I haven't forgot about her. And I'm not gonna. This is going to freak you guys out a little bit. And who will freak out are the people that have been hiding this location. This is what I was talking about yesterday. You guys have been hiding this location for so many years, but some dumb motherfucker hid it under one of the videos that it showed. This is the location that is underground. This location, channeling, like I say, is underground, and these boxes and the movement of these people and so forth are up in the ceiling, and they get placed there. It's a whole railroad kind of an underground system, but they wind up all in a white room where only certain people are allowed to access it. Only certain people can access it. It's accessed by tunnels that are built starting from the family home. I believe that Don Wells' house has access to the Tennessee area. Now, these photos show you someone carrying, look up in the ceiling, it's the boxes, and the middle photo is that, I believe, is that hidden doorway in Don's house. It's between the walls. Literally between the walls. This photo came from these guys' video. Now, I'm showing the child's face because that cannot be her child because it's only a head. So they use these groups to cover up their video. And the person behind her is covered in all the mesh. This is the story of the Summer Moon Wells missing children, period. This is the room in which they wind up being covered in this white stuff. Now, again, I am only showing this face because she's like a mannequin or something. It's not her daughter because it's only part of her. See? And she's with a person that's covered in white mesh in the hearts. But understand, you guys, if you look, it's that fake skin on the neck, and that's not her daughter because her daughter has a body. This thing is just a head with fake skin on a maroon box. That person there is the one that is being sacrificed. This person here is what happened to Summer Moon and Kylie, where they wind up covered in all this white stuff as part of the sacrifice. These bodies are going through a massive process, and it takes a lot of money to have rooms like this. These are rooms. This is what they wind up looking like, covered in the white mesh right in the middle. They're covered in the white mesh. Somehow, the picture to the left, I don't believe is a Summer that we know, but this person is in the process. And the one to the right, she's just connected to something. They're not her children. It's a white building that has all of this stuff going on. It kind of looks like this. Now, if the authorities ever really want to know where I got these photos, which are pretty intense, I'll let them know. These are the rooms. Someone accidentally posted this shit. This is government based. Just to let you know, this is government based, because this photo comes from a very deep rooted government, like army based, I don't even know. But these photos don't lie. I go back to this because Candace, this is really her sitting on that porch, you guys. There's no difference. Every time I look at this photo, the porch and everything becomes very clear to exactly where they're standing. And it's really evidence. There's real evidence that Candace was really, really front and center. These are sad. These are sad to me. They're very cruel. What they do to these children is very cruel. There's no difference between what they're doing to these kids. These kids are going in a hole where when they go visit them or do whatever they're doing, they're going inside the hole, just like Candace is sitting in, to get them. That's where they stay. The holes look like this. I truly believe that the photo, I cut the face out, let me get it. I believe that this was Summer at one time. The one in the middle by her hole is Kylie. That's actually Kylie. What these children are holding next to their hole, and I have a picture, let me see if I have a picture. Are their little trophies they have to stay with. That's that little panda thing, and she's with her stick. This face looks just like, and I don't know why I crop it out. Let me see if it's in here. The heck? crop the face out. She's holding her equipment, and she came out of that hole in the ground just like Kylie has one. They went right through there. I'm going to show you how these holes in the ground and these accesses, including Kylie has them too, with her team and with her people, are very simple to find. From day one, I have shown and thrown Don's construction of his new home to the TBI over and over. The construction that he continued having in his background shows clearly that he's building these rooms under the house on a slant. He built the house on a slant, and I'm going to show you. Don to the left-hand side is actually laying in one of those holes. It's maroon, and it has a door on it. If you look to the right, this is how he built his house. He has the rooms across the bottom of his addition where he built a whole nother level above it. So it's almost as if that level doesn't exist. This part here, these rooms here, are there, but then he builds, you'll see, a flooring. It's slanted to cover this shit up. There's the yellow face with the bee. I have to put that in there because it just showed up on his property. And this yellow with the bee, I could connect to Michael Vaughn's and Summer's little thing hanging. This is a huge element that is so weird, but it matches identically. Oops, to what's hanging in the backyard for Summer and what's hanging all over Michael Vaughn when he passed. This is what it is. This face is this face is pretty important, and all of a sudden it's in the middle of nowhere. So his house was really built with a house inside the house. And I look back at these all the time because it tells really good information. You could see it. I said that they're peeping out. They're peeping out of these little holes in the ground. And I do believe that this whole section here is built on a slant. Oh, what words does that say? So when you look at their house, it goes this way, but there's this big section that you wouldn't know is there unless you go digging. It's, oh, look at that. Look at what it's showing up in his construction. This is what he put under the house. It's like in separate rooms, you guys. These are his photos. He built maroon boxes that give some gateway to what they call basically a sacrifice room. Because I haven't looked at these pictures since April, maybe. So I love when I like to go back to these photos before certain presentations, because these are photos everyone has, but I don't think they kept them. This is Don's building his addition. That looks like he's hiding a lot of dead people. Period. I mean, like, this is the shit that's under his house. I say once they start digging, it's going to be bigger than John Wayne Gacy. I swear to God it is. They have to know exactly the mechanics of it and where to go. And this is where to go. What does this say? What does this say, you guys? What does that say? What do you think? You guys see the words? Well, he definitely created a gateway to something, because these are his photos. What does it say, I wonder? I mean, you could see underground that he built boxes. I mean, they're right there. This is what he shows it. These are the boxes that are on the lower level that he covered up with those doors so no one knows it's down there. This is what's under the layer that he built. This is under that layer. See how he then puts doors in? I'm like, well, one of them has doors and they have hinges. So when you see a door with hinges, it's like, well, it's because you want to open and close them. So these doors open and close into his house, but then he could cover the door so you don't see the room. These are the doors that he could get access to. And it's right there. He's look at what's under here. And it just continues. It may look weird, but the different levels in here show that he covered up a whole situation within his house. So I think that he put one of these heads must be like front and center, because this is what's in the middle of his construction. This. It's right there on the bottom left. It kind of squirms into the top right. So it's sort of like the same photo, even though it's separated. Here. So this side, even though it's separated, does go together. This side here. And a lot of this information that I see um, matches up with Kylie's, like that green that green head on the machine. Like right here, this is what Kylie's machine looks like, because she has that in I think I'm going to try to pull it up. This photo, wait. This right here is what's in that guy's cabin that I said, oh, well, those are like, this is, obviously I know what that is, because it matches what that guy found in his cabin. And it's, let me see. Catch a TV, where'd you go? Here. Or let me see if I could show you that same green statue. Fake. So, Catch a TV has all the same maroon, the green, maroon, and the white box on the bottom. Like, this is Catch It TV's. And wait, I'll show you more. The whatever is in this freaking abandoned location, to me, is needs to be looked at. Needs to be looked at. Because the photos inside of there, like here, this isn't his, but this is actually more of, I should, you know what, let me put this over here. Wait, I'll pull that one out for a minute. Let me see if I can grab it. Catch a TV. Okay. I'm going to see if the green froggy thing is in here. It should be. It's really nuts how I'm proud of myself that I really did pull together elements that no matter what you do with it, slice and dice it, they're pretty much don't change. They're the same. What's that in this one? Abandoned TV. I'll find it. But this here, I want to show you. This comes from this to me is connected to Kylie. Get that, but I just want to put this out here quickly. This is another picture of the cylinders, and it's really pretty clear. That comes from the Beeston Bunch. Not to say that's them, right? But that's just another group that they use to cover shit up. But what you see in theirs is the same cylinder. There's no difference between Kylie's cylinder and all the other cylinders that we see. They're the same. They're connected to the 5 little box on the bottom. They're the same. There's a room that holds all these, and I believe it's the room I just showed you guys. This is just a picture of what Don's they like superimposed a house over a house, and this is looking to me what they put under there. To me, I see that white building that I just showed you. Everything sort of lines up into that building. It lines up into the building. And Don Wells is I would say the key to busting this whole thing open if he chooses to. If he chooses to. You could see the slits going through his construction. I know I showed this months ago, but it just shows a lot more. And I don't know. If I had the freedom to just go anywhere, there's only a couple places I would need to go to grab the evidence that's needed. So this to me is where they could find an entranceway. Somewhere on their building, right there is actually like dumpsters. Like you could go inside those and go down underground. This here on Don's property is a tunnel. I could bet anything that there's a tunnel. This leads to a tunnel that goes kind of over the dog area. This is his, okay, so this thing he says is attached to the house, but this right here, he has like that really strange looking stepper, and he keeps it in one location. It's just really weird. I think that this whole property here was dug underground during their construction. And this is like a dumpster of some sort. And it could be found under there. I think what they built over it, it looks like they built, I think that they built their house against it. But it's the entrance, like the door entrance or something. But what's showing up? So the things that show up are usually, this group is very into showing shit through their photos, right? So they just layer up the truth and what have you. I'm going to look to see why there's a body showing up here. You know, because these are all clues, but I need to give a feeling on it. So I think Grandis is, okay, so this is what I'm saying. Grandis's trailer's over it. Grandis's trailer is somehow built on top of this underground thing. It's under Grandis's property. So they built, you see what they did? They built it out, so that's why they moved Grandis's trailer. So it looks like, wait, let me crop this. To me, it looks like this area here under Grandis's property would be a hiding place. Like this looks like it's right where the flowers were put. Like the flowers are put at the entrance of this thing. See? It's like her house is on top of an underground storage facility. That's what it's showing. And then they put they put the trailer over it. To me, this is what it's showing. What do you guys think? This is... This to me is the one way in and one way out. Like there's movement. Remember I said that Grandis had a double door? Like I saw it. They were like building something in the beginning. If you look at one of my videos, I'm like, she has a double door here. There's another door next to the door. Because this is a weird thing. Like she had like a double door. But this, you guys, is shows. This is showing that it's under here. I mean, it's interesting information. Then you're going to see... Remember I told you I feel like they go... They swoop down. Like I feel like they just like... They swoop down. Look at the babe. Look at the head. Look what's showing up there. That's the shit that shows up, but... That's an entranceway. It's all on their property. And Grandis's trailer is really fucking nothing to do with it. They put that there because it was part of what was going on here. You know, if I were, oh my God, if I had the access to go there, I would be sniffing around that area right there. This is what's on in the corner. It's showing summer. It's showing summer is on the property. Entranceway. I think it's an entranceway. This door I wanted to show you. It's just, it keeps giving really sick ass information. And I do believe that they didn't find it because it's buried within the slope. Somewhere within the slope of their property slopes into an area that no one would even think of going. See how they built it weird like that? That was all new. And look in the window now. That was all new. They should just rip the whole freaking thing up. Now, it shows that he has, this was shown in the video when they videotaped from, it was from the shed. How is it that no one kind of saw these doorways? These are doorways. And to me, this is the access to the underground tunnel. Now, it's showing that it's coming from the shed. But now that I see this, it could easily be, these are entranceways. Did anyone see this? It's in the video when they show the shed. You just slow it down. I mean, it's not fakely there. It's there. It's like a cave entrance. Now, I've seen this more than once. I've seen them in Don's video. But it's a doorway. You see that? Like, they use it. Like, see those little things that are traveling across? That's an entranceway. And it's really clear. It's not being hidden, see? Now, that entranceway shows a lot of information. The picture down in the left-hand corner, I always like to put in a couple times. That's the window. That comes from Chris McDonough's video when he pans across the bunk beds. That's a one-way wall. Like, that's picking up a reflection that is showing that there's something behind there. There was one of those squares in her room. And on the right-hand side, it shows that Don is putting these cylinders down under. See? Those are those cylinders. And they're going down under into his property. And those are boxes, you guys. Those are separate individual boxes. Here's the doorway, you guys. So the photo to the left comes from Benny. The photo in the middle obviously is Kylie, and I'm showing you her room. The photos to the right come from the Kent family group, and I'm showing you that those are the rooms that are hidden behind the doorways. There's a door that slides over it and you can't see it. And I believe that those walls, you walk through this small little area. And these are underground. So this is a perfect photo of summer. They're saying this is summer in the backyard, but what I see is they're coming in and out of those holes in the ground. The holes are covered, and I believe they're covered by the trucks. Those cars are pulled over the holes in the ground. This is real shit, you guys. That is the one way in and a one way out tunnel. Now let me show you something that's really fucked up. Zanime, I am now headed back to because she gave me a lot of information. I knew I've seen that before. The thing that Zanime is showing is the same thing that followed Summer Moon Wells with Dawn when she was little. And that is underground because the small little picture in Dawn's photo is underground in a room with a window. That thing that she claimed to be a canoe is no fucking canoe or a kayak. Whatever that is exactly what they have as part of a puzzle piece to finding these kids. This is an element. She's showing you an element. This element was also found in the car. It's the same element. The front bends down. I believe that this is like a preemie baby. This is showing you that behind Kylie's door that she stands by is the maroon, the white, and the green. The maroon, the white, the green, and then she's got the pink face, which is sometimes could be green, could be, different color, but here it's pink, and those match clearly throughout all of the other Summer Moon Wells Missing Children's cases that I'm following, including Dylan Rounds. I'm not going to show the face of this person. One of the pictures, and this is what I mean, this is a trapped doorway behind a door. It's behind a wood wall. It's a trapped doorway, and I cut it because the guy's ass is butt naked. This is what these rooms look like. They are built this way. They're built this way. This is what Don has in his house. This I'm just showing is underground. Her legs are actually down in the hole. Her kids, they're not her kids. These are fake kids. They're not hers. They're standing in their holes. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, let me switch it. That's like a butt. To the left is a photo of Don coming out of his hole in the ground with the number 5. And what I'm showing you is all of these kind of rooms do all come together, and they're in these little teeny rooms surrounded by chicken fence, chicken bar, and there's only, they go in and they go out. This is what it looks like. I'm showing these two pictures because many a times I said, oh, that looks so familiar, the mesh, the this. These photos are taken from inside one of these rooms because, wait, let me see if I can do a closer picture. Because the bottom of this photo is exactly where I think they keep these kids. Now, the picture to the right came from Tim Mullen. It's Tim Mullen's pictures. I think he knows exactly where to go to get into these rooms to find these children. These rooms are exactly what I've been showing you. There's heads on the top, and those are rooms beneath the ground. This picture comes from Kingsport Center. He claims he's standing where the clock is. The picture that he's actually showing you, I see it and feel it to be a location of where these kids are. Because this clearly matches, in my third eye, this clearly matches all the other evidence that I have shown where these kids may be. Little rooms like this, is what you're looking at. That is underground, guys. These are the same rooms. You guys could see like that. There's like these skulls and stuff on the top, see? But this is what Tim Mullen was showing, and no one's going to pick it up unless you're looking for it. Here's the heads. It's behind the fence, and these are the rooms, you guys. Those are the rooms. And this was shown months ago. And I'm like, I feel this is a location. Now maybe they'll check it out because it really does match up to these rooms. And I do believe that Don was bringing kids in and out using the shed, but there is a secret door. Because whoever is coming out of there is on one of those push cart machines, just like I showed you in the church. Same. They're underground like this. I've seen these many a times, and you could get to them. They're in like fields, but underneath the fields they have trap doors that they built, and they go up and down, and you could go in and out of them. I have plenty of photos of it. Again, I believe that these are the rooms. Oh, here, I did connect them. This room here, actually you could see the number 5 really well. It's like a pretty good photo, this one. They're very small rooms. What is on the bottom there? That's what it is, you guys. It's very sad. I put this in there, I think the other day too, to show you. This was a TikTok that followed the party of Kylie's last party. And all these TikToks have really sick ass shit. I think that they're part of the process. I think these kids are being sold. I'm not going to get into that part now very deep, but the flooring, they're very banged up. They're very bloody. And these TikToks follow all the TikToks basically that were deleted. And I think that they were deleted because they see that people are understanding what's going on. And right in the beginning, I tried very hard to get a hold of TikTok. But the thing is, they might be part of it too. I think they're not based in the US. But these TikToks are being layered. See? And all it is just sickness and illness that they're showing. And they're using the children. They're using children. It's sad. Like, here's a child. I know what he's sitting in. He's surrounded by the equipment. The equipment that you see here is the same equipment that was in the Watts case. And that case that you see there is the same suitcase that the fake Shanann was carrying into her house. It's the same suitcase that travels internationally and just moves about. This is the equipment. I know it is because I have been freaking looking at it. This suitcase, trust me when I tell you, is the identical suitcase that was carried into the Watts house. And that's the equipment. That's the equipment. That's a box. I mean, this is the equipment that's sitting in front of this baby who's connected to it. This is the setup. This is the abandoned house that this Catch a TV set is abandoned. And I just keep looking at the same picture over and over. It is so Summer Moon in front of the red barrel that says for sale. This is the video. I don't think it's in the location he said it is, but those are the chairs that I told you about that look crisscrossy. Remember, I'm like, oh, here it is. Wait, let me see if I could grab it. Here. Wait, I'm going to crop it out and show you. So I think this is the same location. And those chairs, like, this isn't like a normal looking chair. This is just all the same to me. This is all the same. Let me see if I have one of her in the front of the barrel. Nothing has changed. It's the same. Looking for it. No, maybe I don't have one in here of the barrel. I mean, we have hundreds of pictures of it, but it's not in here. So I think this is where the mesh is. This is what they're looking through. This is very important information. These little rooms match. And I think this is where Candace is sitting with Summer. This is inside that house. There's no way it's an abandoned new house with those yellow. This is just a fake. They just faked and put shit in there. This is all fake. They show a little room upstairs that you get through with the doorway. I think that is a doorway to hell. It's on a slant. Those are the boxes, the maroon, the white, and the green, just sitting there. Those are the boxes here. I'll blow them up that Kylie wound up standing on by the water. And he ever so freaking, I don't know why he's showing it, but this video is very much planted video of information that just needed to get out there. And I just call bullshit on every one of his videos. See? You turn it upside down and this is Kylie's equipment. This is Kylie's equipment. It's the same boxes that I keep showing over and over. They're just little windows. I know I've showed these before, but I wanted to bring them up again. These are little peeping windows. So these little teeny houses, I think they have these little teeny fake doors in the front, because when I once saw this through that landscaper's information, I'm like, they've got the hearts and shit in there. Like, why is it that in these houses? And then I really took a closer look. I'm like, that's not a dollhouse. It's connected to that yellow and maroon shed. That's just the front of it. It's connected to that ugly, a really weird shed, and inside it has the cylinder. I think that these are the front, like it's a trap door. They just go in it and that's it. They're gone. These guys are showing like building of it. I went back years ago, and their information, this matches the buildings of these places. So this is showing you what they did. This was, I think, 12 years ago, that they had a crew out, and I believe this is what they do. They dig it up and put it back in. These are trap doorways that are inside the house. Of this particular house. This particular house was somewhere that they said they were cleaning up the lawn. They're not really cleaning up the lawn. It's they're digging things in and taking things out. And this is the same group that continued today. This is the same group that is doing Summer Moonwell stuff, KIELYRODNI stuff. This is the mesh window in the same location as that abandoned place I just showed you. There is no difference between them. I believe that this has been going on for years, and all of this is the same. I've shown these photos before. They show these trap doorways on their way. This is the debunked group. There's that little doorway with that white thing on it. Remember I said, oh, those are so familiar. That's what they have on it. That's what Don's door had on it. And it's just consistently the same over and over. Well, history is repeating itself, because they show up with the same doorway, the same entrance, the same details. I mean, they even have that same white thing on the side of the door. sec. This one? Well, this one actually, I just will show it, is actually showing the white with the red heart. I thought this was Summer because I don't have her face on this one, but this really looked like Summer to me. So here they are. They're actually taking the cover off of an underground tunnel. They're lifting it up and off, and then they're lifting these white bags out, like these white body bags. If the authority wants to know more, I have all the people that, where this came from. And they're coming up and out of the ground like a trap door, like a door that you would have if you go into it if you have a tornado coming. Oh, thank you, Long Gone, for that super chat. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. Here again, these guys are just building a place for these sacrifices. This house has different levels to it, and I got it from Debunked, and they're showing how they're taking stuff out from underneath. It's different. This is exactly how I believe Don's house was built, specifically for this. This is where it all is. They're lifting that dude's head up in there. And look what's happening in the ground. These are real pictures, you guys. These are real pictures of real people being pulled in those carts and shit's going in the ground and out of the ground. And these are sacrifices. She's putting a head in the ground. The picture in the middle comes from the Watts house. What I'm showing you is whatever was in the footage of the Watts footage is continuing today. They didn't stop it. Chris might be sitting in the jail, but this stuff hasn't stopped. This stuff hasn't stopped because what you see in the middle is the white stick with the heart. Nothing is stopped. Nothing. What you see in the middle is what I've been showing you from Kylie's to Summer Moon's case. It's the same thing. There's no difference other than it's different people and different sacrifices. That's it. What you see going down in the ground is exactly what you saw right here in Sammy's backseat of her car. This isn't Sammy's backseat of her car. This here is from the Watts video. There's no difference. They're the same element because they're never going to change their element. Not going to change your element. This is Summer's. Same thing. in the Watts video. This is Sammy's car. Sammy's car. I showed this quickly yesterday. It's an aerial shot of Don's house. Now we know, I showed you, I think there's a trap door. The authorities could do what they want with this. But it's actually showing some really fine information that there's something going on their property, because if there wasn't, Tim Mullen would not be taking the time to do this. They're saying that this is Summer Moon, and this is not Summer Moon at her church. You guys, this is happening every day. It's really sick. And their feet are chained to the box beneath their feet. And the purpose of them giving me all this information isn't to just walk away and be like, that's not true, that's not true. It's to show you this is going on right now with children that can be found. They really did that to her eyeball. These are extremely clear photos. These are extremely clear photos of what goes on with these people that they do this to. This photo I will crop to show particular areas. This photo is an end result of a body wrapped in the mesh. That's the head right there, or the heads. The white mesh with the bloody heart. It's right here. And it's with its stick. And this is what I have been showing of what these kids look like and what goes on with the people that are sacrificed through these people. This is what happens. This is just yet another one. And they're really, really tough to look at if you could really see it. It's nothing short of the truth. It's nothing short of the truth. Here's her heart, or whoever this is. Everyone has that piece. But you see the right-hand side comes out of one of the dark cars of Benny's cars. I wanted to show you something which I never noticed before. Behind each one of these kids, I believe they're not both Summer at all. Benny is behind one of them and Don is behind the other one. And their faces are not the same. These kids are not the same kids. It's super obvious these kids are not the same kids. One's face is longer than the other. The one with Benny's face behind her, Benny looks like he is let me show you. Copy. This face is not the same child that's with Don's face. I will be very curious to see what happens with these, but they're not the same. And it's supposed to be the same picture. It's not even the same child. Did you guys see that? I'll be very curious to see what happens with these photos. Because Benny is behind the one to the left. And Don is behind the one to the right. Not the same child. These are not the same children. This is the picture that I found, and I have to put it in here on the fisherman's boat that I believe is a big that process. Not to say it's that company. It's a big part of the process, and I think that this was Ernie, and I believe that that's a picture of Summer. I think that's Summer. I'm just showing this to you because it's an interesting conversation that this guy from Deer Meat for Dinner discussed the eyeball of a fish. How when you look inside the eyeball of a fish, everything looks upside down. Now, the eyeball that he was holding up has a red heart on it with the white. So I kept this because of a couple reasons. The little houses behind it, as well as the red heart, I wanted to keep in my memory bank. He's making that thing the pupil of the eyeball that sees backwards. This is what happens to a lot of the sacrifices. They wind up on this boat and in the water. Now, what I'm showing you here is there's this person is in a bucket because her hair is sticking out of the bucket. And what you see laying next to her is one of these. It's one of those. This here, let me brighten it up. Contrast. Oh, that's better. Here. She's in a bucket and her hair is laying outside the bucket, and what's next to her is one of those white things with the heart. These are all groups that give me the information that I need. They're all the same. The head sticking out of the top, yada yada. It's all the same. It's all the same. And this is what happens to them. That's Summer Moon all the way to the right-hand side. That is someone from the Beeston Bunch. The one in the middle is from the Deer Meat for Dinner. Not to say the company has anything to do with it, but they all have the same freaking information. And this is the element that goes on the eye. That's okay. So this thing that you see here is this piece of equipment. Someone asked me about it. Wait. Okay, I said I would come back to it. I can't remember what page it's on. Wait. Shoot. Oh, okay, so it's with the kids on the podium. Let me see if I can find it. Kids, it's part of the equipment. Wait, I know I grabbed it before. I'm like, come on. Like, I know exactly what that is. See, now all my pictures, I kind of cropped them. Oh, is it in this one? No. It was a piece, and I'm like, that I know exactly what that piece is. It's part of the equipment. It's the eye removal thing. And I put it to the side, but God, so much information. All right, well, this is the eye thing removal. And this is somehow, whatever the end result is, it gets dropped off on this boat. And for those, I am not showing his daughter because we all know his daughter doesn't look like this with this thing in her mouth. You got to look really closely that these pictures are not what you think they are. It's really shitty, but this is what it is. And this is what goes on. Again, I just showed you that, how it matches. These little things are used for fishing, these little critter things that they create. And that's a real girl laying on the bottom of the boat that I've showed before. The picture to the right is from one of those YouTube creators going through the same process. I wanted to show you these weird photos. Here's the blue thing that keeps popping up, so I think it's just part of the equipment. It's important to show. The one in the bottom right hand corner came from investigation or something. In the middle photo is from that Catch It TV. I think it's the same equipment that we've been seeing over and over. Oh, I'm losing steam, you guys. So that's someone's hand. I think this is a real part of what's happening here. And there's equipment on the right-hand side, but what you see up on the left, on the right-hand side on top, I believe is one of the rooms. And that's on a truck. That's what the rooms look like. There's nothing different from what you see here. They're all holding the same kind of trophy. I'm very curious to know, I don't really care, but which is the Benny that you guys think is the Benny that you talk to, because they're all different. And the one that's got its face coming out of the square there, I'm going to show you a closer photo. Wait. This dude has a completely different, this is not him. So there are many different people that cover up. This guy to me looks like someone else. And he's coming out of a hole in the ground from the car. And that's the stuff that I pay very close attention to. And that's how you know this shit is deep faked. They're showing you here what the car looks like inside one of those YouTube families. It's not a car. It looks the same as, it's the same as everyone else's fake car. But these are different pictures of who you think he is. They're very different. They're very different. There's no way they are not the same people. What you see behind Grandis's car, this was during Rosemary Bly, is down in the right-hand corner, are all the same boxes I showed you that are in Benny's car. But this isn't Benny that we know. The guy on the left-hand side, I don't know why I didn't put the picture in. To me, is this same guy. To me, this is the same guy. That's just how I feel. And just what really bothers me is when Summer Moon Wells' eyeball appears on his face. Now, you could create whoever the fuck you want to be and whatever you want to do, but when you start putting Summer Moon Wells' eyeball on your face, that's a problem. That's a problem. All of this is coming together. All of these pictures are showing the truth. All of them. Because they're all deep fake lies and they all tell the story. And there's a little piece of truth that's hidden within the deep fake that could be totally taken out. So the day this shit all comes down, we know. Like, put it this way. This little thing here, this fake little piece of machinery, you guys, right here, is what Sammy shows as the back of a car. This is it. This is what I was saying. This is it. It's in her canoe video. I'm like, you've got to be joking me. I know what this shit is. There are a couple people that could really bust this thing open. And I do believe, Benny, whoever you are, could do that. And the point being that neither one of him nor Ryan Upchurch has acknowledged their own videos of what's in there of them is so disappointing to me. It's so disappointing. Because what is happening here to Michael Vaughn's eye is no different than what you're portraying here on the fake Benny's face. But yet you don't want to talk about it. Those tweezers match identically to the tweezers that are shaped like that with a B. I just don't have the energy in me right now to go find it. This is what they did to Michael Vaughn. This is what they did to Summer Moon Wells. And this is what they did to Kylie and all of Summer Moon Wells' missing children. There's no getting around the fact that this is what they did. These are not fake photos, you guys. These photos have not been tampered with. These photos haven't been touched. Summer Moon Wells's photo, one of her very last photos with the number 5 connected to her, is the same as Michael. This is Michael Vaughn. He has the 5 on the corner of his head. He has all the elements that they all have. They all need justice. The picture to the left was Benny in the swing. The picture all the way to the right was from a surveillance camera, where they were looking for a person just like that during one of the cases. Michael Vaughn, maybe? It's the same person. It's the same person. And this is what it comes down to. This. This is actually what you're looking at, is a very full story of what Summer Moon Well's missing children and Kylie would really like to be exposed. But what I'm finding very interesting is that no one is picking up the fact that these pictures are there. They're not blurry anymore. I'm not spending hours on getting them. They're right in front of us. This is all that Summer Moon Wells wants to have broken up. This is all the shit that Summer Moon Wells' missing children go through. They go through all of this, you guys. They go through all this pain. They go through all these stories. They go through all these processes. My hope is to get up and hear that this is being busted open. I'm going to end it for tonight. I'm really happy I got this information out there, because I have really had it for a while. There's so much more that I have to go over with you guys, but this is really what I needed to put forth today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Donna and Muffin Top, for being the fabulous mods you are. Thank you to all of my subscribers and my members for supporting the channel and just giving me what I need to continue. It's really very difficult. The energy just pulls from me. It's worth it. These kids are worth it. Thank you all for being here. God bless you all so much. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to hope that the Bears win tonight, and I will see you sometime tomorrow. Thank you. God bless you. And may the Summer Moon Wells and the KIELYRODNI kids all get their justice soon. Good night, guys.